All right, shalom, shalom. This is part 2 of the video. So this is Isaiah 65, and DJT, he want to send people to wars. He want people to, you know, do his bidding, which 2/3 of Jake they gonna have to go, cause Jake don't have no army, or they don't really even got each other's backs to be trying to go against these military officers that's coming to try to get them and throw them into this war and shit, right? And they might even, because Jake don't have no foresight, the 2/3 don't have no foresight, they might actually think that they have the ability to come back from this war, right? They might be thinking like, you know what? Let me go and go to this little war. Let me come back and get me a Hellcat, thinking that all this system and all this shit gonna still keep going. Cause Jake blind, right? If they wasn't, it wouldn't be the people it wouldn't be Jake's in the army right damn now. If they could foresee what the fuck was happening, we could clearly see. Well, look, 2025, they should have knew, like, all the people who still, all the Jakes that still kept enlisting into this army because they wanted the benefits that the army came with. Hey, you know what I mean? They getting caught up. That's how you know they ain't got no foresight of what's happening. They don't know what's about to go down. So we can still see Jakes to this day, like, even after all this craziness that's popping off, it's still Jakes that don't pay attention to the news, or that's not circumspect and looking, right? So we could just chalk it up to they gonna just get fucked up. But through it all, right, there's war that's about to come here to Babylon the Great. And you know, people gonna be fucked up in that time. This is Isaiah 65:14. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart. Because in these times we coming in, the Heavenly Father's servants, the prophets, the 144,000, the hopeful elect, right, the 1/3. We're going to be in a better mood than these people are when all this hell start breaking loose here in Babylon the Great, right? Even when these drafts and stuff start happening, like, we gonna be in good case. They not, right? We gonna be laughing like, like we was just laughing about the Keisha getting towed up by the pit bull and all that, right? Because it's like we already told y'all what was going on. It's just y'all is the one who's gonna be vexed by what's happening. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna be taken off guard. We gonna be on our P's and Q's. This is Isaiah 65:14. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. Because a lot of these families, these Jake families, and just these heathen nations that's amongst us, and the wicked and all that, these Edomites, their families are going to be tore to pieces about their loved ones being thrown into a war that they don't even agree with, right? That they feel like the whole country is truly being thrown into this war. So that can cause an uprising in itself, and people going to be vexed in this thing, right? So it's like it's hey, it's gonna be a crazy situation, right? And then when they do go to that war, they're gonna have to meet Yahweh Shai, right? If they don't already get destroyed, in Iran and stuff, before they can make it to the Valley of Jehoshaphat, right? But they're gonna get destroyed, you know what I mean, either way. But this is Second Ezra chapter 13. I'm gonna start at verse 2. I'm gonna read on down, and this is what these people gonna end up getting by going to that war. These people who making it to that war gonna be destroyed by Yahweh Shai and the angels. The Second Ezra chapter 13, verse 2. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. Now, the wind from the sea, this is not actually talking about the sea of water that's down here. It's speaking about space, right? And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Now, that man is Yahweh Shai, right? And he's coming with the thousands of heavens, meaning an armada of angels. And the reason why I say armada is because armada is a fleet of ships that's coming from water, on the water, right? And space is water, right? Let me see. Armada. A fleet of warships. Yeah, right. And that's how basically it's gonna be in
Armada.
yeah. It says a fleet, a flotilla, a squadron, a navy, right? That's simply how it's gonna be, but coming from the sky though. It says, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, and when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him, right? And because he's going to be, everybody in the world is going to see him. Not one person is not going to be able to see him, right? Every eye shall see him. Matter of fact, let me go to that red one. I believe it's 7 or red 1 and 9. Nah, it's 7. This is Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, right? And they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. So we see that everybody, and ain't gonna be nobody that ain't gonna be able to say that they know that he's here. And it says, this 2 Ezra 13 and 4, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. Now, verse 5, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men, and this is the point, out of number from the four winds of the heaven, to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Now, these are all the armies of the world that are gathered in the valley of Jehoshaphat, right? And they're going to be fighting amongst each other, and they're going to turn from fighting amongst each other to fight Yahweh Shai when he comes, because he's going to come in the midst of that World War III battle, right? Verse 6, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. Now, this isn't an actual mountain. This is a super large so-called UFO. This is a chariot of fire. This is a father ship that's going to be so big that it's going to cover all of the sky, right? It's going to be so big that they compared it to a mountain. Edges compared it to a mountain, because you know how you get close to a mountain. I don't even know if y'all ever came in contact with mountains, but when you close up on a mountain, you can't see how where it ends or where it begins or any of that, right? It's so big where you like, oh snap, right? So it's the only thing in your view, right? Verse 7, but I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not, because it was so big he couldn't see the end of the ship, right? And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid. And yet there's fight. All these soldiers, these 230s that's gonna be in that war, they gonna be afraid, but they gonna still fight. The Heavenly Father gonna put the spirit on them to fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Now these are the laser beams that's going to come out of that ship. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, right? And fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid, right? So these people who are about to go to this war, they are about to be fucked up, y'all, right? So DJT drafting them in his word, it's gonna lead them to being fucked up, y'all. And with that, I'm gonna give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Shalom, y'all. On to the next one. I'm gonna let this play.
Happened in Vietnam during the Vietnam War. It was pretty much right away. They didn't wait until they ran out of soldiers.
The Draft Lottery, a live report on tonight's picking of the birthdays for the draft.
No, it happens pretty quickly, so don't think, well, we'll wait and see, and once we see a bunch of American soldiers dying in Iran, then they're going to do the draft. No, they might do the draft on us pretty quickly. A lot of young men, before they were sent off to Vietnam, when they received their induction notices, a lot of them did a lot of pretty extreme things in order to avoid being shipped off to war. My dad was telling me about some of the things that some of his friends did. Like one guy paid a friend to hit his leg with a sledgehammer. Another looked at a bright